This is Another Man's Nostalgia with John.
Touch it, it falls.
Oh
There you go, there you go, there you go. Good job.
Oh my god.
Nice
God.
and close.
Oh my god.
Here.
Chris.
It's like how when you're little and you go to see the Santa at the mall, you all think they all look the same, even though they're all different. The one I went to is the actual Santa. So,
anyways,
And Justin.
whether it be better equipment, whether it be merchandise, whether it be
a gold hat for myself.
a gold hat for Justin.
The episode starts now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Another Man's Nostalgia, where we revisit everybody's favorite shows, movies, and games for the mid-90s to mid-2000s. All right, how y'all doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Doing good.
Good. Still at John's. We're back at John's.
We're back at man.
Yep.
My place.
Yep.
Justin keeps slamming things on the table.
Can't
It
wait to edit that
vibrates
out.
to every single person's mic.
Can't wait to edit that out.
I placed it gently.
It was like,
You know what? Fine. I'll put it down here.
and
Okay.
it vibrates everything.
Yeah, I can hear it.
I didn't mean to do it like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I
hate you all.
You never mean to do it
I
like
hate
that.
you all. Just
So
go-
it's
start with the podcast.
it's the week of Thanksgiving. Do y'all have any plans?
Yes.
Well, no,
I'm
we're
going
doing this on Thanksgiving, so I'm supposed to be with my family, but I'm doing this.
Oh.
Second?
Dang.
Well, it's depressing
No,
for
we-
y'all too.
We're
Well,
doing
this
it
is
a
coming out
little
2
bit
days
before Thanksgiving.
It's coming out 2 days before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we're doing it. Well, we're doing it a little bit before that
Yeah.
because of the holidays and everything.
Yeah.
But I'm going to San Antonio
Oh, cool.
when it comes out. I'm gonna go with my girlfriend's parents.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm so
Tough conversations
excited
have to be
for
had.
it.
Okay. All right. Anyways. Okay. You heard about
Hey
John?
Justin, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Speaking by yourself.
you doing?
I got
He
my
said cook this big old like
I'm just
turkey and mashed potatoes pie,
Yep.
and you just
all
get
for
it.
me.
You
Nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine.
Be alone.
That's fine.
All right. Y'all ready to talk about this? So,
What did we watch? I forgot.
this week we watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles
Okay.
from 1987.
I wasn't alive during this.
We were
time,
not
so
live. I think this still counts though because
I
I
was-
watched it.
I wasn't even an idea.
Yeah.
Which-
That's true.
Which is amazing that you watched it
I
when
know.
you were little, because there's a scene in here that is just I've never heard so many.
Crazy?
I've never heard
Best
that many words.
scene.
It
Ever.
surprised you, didn't it?
Okay, so I told John this before you got here, Justin, but you guys remember this because we might have talked about it on the podcast. My dad recorded everything, so I never.
Okay, hold on. I want you to stop for a second.
Okay.
He is not joking about this.
Yeah, we had.
No,
There is a
he
wall.
recorded everything.
There are walls in his old house
Yeah.
of just videotapes.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to say anything to be mean. I didn't want.
But it was crazy.
I was just like, there's a lot of cassette tapes here.
I'll say this. So
I really want to know. Hold on. Did your dad buy like the huge packs of like?
Wasn't
the
there another
20
room full of
yeah.
them
The
too?
20 packs
No,
of
that
videotapes
was
at a
them.
time.
I mean, we had like home videos, but that was where all of our. That's where all of
It's
our.
like
There were
there was-
stacks.
there was-
So no, I'll tell
Out
you.
of the 20 shelves that
Yeah.
had videotapes, there was like half a shelf was for family.
There was 120 videotapes because my dad counted them.
120.
And it was 6 hours worth, so it was like 3 movies on each. So you can imagine how many movies we had. And I have the same problem.
Which
I
let's.
download a lot of movies, but I do it legally.
It's pretty. It was pretty genius.
Oh yeah,
Lots of
Did
free
you say you do
entertainment.
it illegally?
I do it legally.
You do it-
He did it legally.
He did it legally too.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah. So the version of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles that we watched growing up was a TBS version.
Ah.
So And I'll tell you later when we get to that scene that you're talking about, like my first reaction to it. It was great.
When did you first see that scene that we're talking about?
Yeah.
Unedited.
Unedited when I first see it. I think I bought the Blu-ray when I was like in college.
Okay.
No.
Wow, so you never saw unedited
Until
till
that
college.
point?
Yeah. And there's some scenes that were
You were
cut
that
out.
locked down at home.
And there was also some uploaded. There was also some deleted scenes, and there was one deleted scene in the Blu-ray that was played on the TV version. I'll tell you about later. It's really funny. Anyways, okay, so that was kind of my history. Watched it every year. This and Christmas Vacation is probably the movie I've seen the most because like when I was little, I went through like spurts of watching.
When it comes to
That's a
I'm
good
sorry.
movie, Christmas
in
Vacation.
general. Because like when it comes to movies, when I was little, I would watch it like 10 times, like obsessed with it.
Uh-huh.
This is one of them. Most of those movies I haven't watched again, but this one I watch every year. And same with Christmas Vacation, I watch those two every year. So I probably have both of those memorized down to the music, like the words that are said in the music. Like some of the songs I've heard in this, I recognize from other things just because I've heard it in like the background of this movie. So I'm all about this. This is one of my favorites. All right, what about you guys? John, you haven't said anything.
I have never seen this movie.
Uh-huh.
It was
Crazy to me, but
And
okay.
he still hasn't watched it.
No, I did watch it.
And,
No, yeah, I've never seen it before. I was really surprised about Steve Martin because I've usually watched him just on Cheaper by the Dozen,
family
Father
films.
of the Bride,
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Father
so
of the
sorry.
Bride's a good movie.
and like
But it's not Steve Martin, though.
Yeah.
that's kind of how I know Steve Martin from.
His
Like,
his stand-up's dirty. Like,
I've
it's-
seen him from like other movies. I can't think of him
Yeah.
off the top of my head right now. But it was a new Steve Martin. I wasn't used to it.
Uh-huh. It's very different.
Yeah.
And even, like, this isn't even classic Steve Martin. This is
Right.
a different Steve, but it's a great Steve Martin.
Yeah, for sure.
So I've seen this movie a few times.
Uh-huh.
I have. I didn't remember too much when we watched it again. It's not one of the movies. It's not like in my list of things to always watch, but it's definitely one I knew of.
Uh-huh.
And when I watched it again, I was very happy to see it again because I love Steve Martin.
He's great.
Like he's the reason
he's
why
good.
he's so. If I don't think I've talked about it on the podcast before, I love Saturday Night Live.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty good with anything trivia related, especially to pop culture, movies, and TV.
Yeah.
As they can attest to in the numerous times I've beaten them in quizzes.
Uh-huh. Yes.
But
I don't want to talk about that.
I love Saturday Night Live. Like
Uh-huh.
I'm gung ho about it, and Steve Martin's one of the reasons why I got into it. Because my dad used to show me clips of the original Saturday Night Live, the ones with Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Martin was a huge host on there. He was huge in the 70s.
Yeah.
Like he was the guy for the longest time.
Uh-huh.
And his stand-up was amazing. He didn't do movies till 79. Like, The Jerk was his first movie that he wrote and starred in.
I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah, and The Jerk is a classic, too.
It is. It is.
I
So
love that movie.
So was Steve Martin an A-lister when this came around? I know he was famous
Yeah.
from Saturday Night Live.
He's
but
definitely an
He didn't start
A-lister.
to come like really famous until he started doing movies.
Right.
So was he a big A-lister
it was
when?
after this movie is kind of when he started taking a break, and that's like when he started becoming like what we can more consider like a B-lister. Like he's still a family name. You know,
He's
a household.
an
name, but-
A-lister in like status and history.
Yeah.
But as
He's
he
more
got,
selective now.
he's more selective now.
Wait,
but
does he
he's
act
defi-
anymore?
Sometimes he tours with his band. He plays the
He
banjo.
does. He has like a live show with what's his
Martin
name?
Short.
Martin Short. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's definitely slowed down, but he's definitely a legend.
He's great.
He's amazing.
Yeah. No, of course.
Yeah. Okay. You want some fun facts? You want to do a fun fact, Steve?
Here we go. Okay. This was hard because there's not really a theme.
No, it's just a whole bunch of 80s
Alright.
music.
No, hey, did you
Lots.
hear the song at the very end of the movie? That's a theme.
Every time you go, you take a piece of me with you. Every time you go, you take a piece of me
All right, so here we go. All right. Here we go. Fun facts.
I love it. That's awesome.
See planes,
Yeah, I get it.
trains,
Have you noticed that every time we do a fun fact thing, Justin explains it afterwards?
Just in case nobody knew.
It's great.
I know sometimes my genius can go unnoticed.
Yep, you're correct. That was
My
great.
favorite's the chicka chicka chicka.
That was a good one, dude.
I'm crying. That was so good.
All right. Okay, so
You didn't need snapping. You did not need snapping there.
I had to
That was
add the
pretty
end.
freaking good.
so this movie came out the day before Thanksgiving in 1987.
That's cool.
Bold move.
Yep, and
Yeah, how much did it make that second day?
so yeah, no, probably good. I don't know. The movie came out on Christmas Day, and it does okay.
But there's no like football.
Yeah,
on
but
Christmas
yeah,
as
there's
much.
I was about to say Thanksgiving has a lot of things going on.
That's true.
You got
That's true.
Cowboys on Thursday.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know.
Those Cowboys.
Well, it didn't make much money to begin with, but it made a good amount of money for a comedy. But the budget was really high, and I'll explain why the budget was high. But it made $49 million, and the budget was 30. It's kind of high for a comedy.
Worldwide, it made 45.
49.
I'm sure they're making
49.
money off of the residuals.
Absolutely,
and
they are,
everything.
because this movie became a classic after it was made. But I mean, it had really high
Yeah.
reviews and everything in theaters. It just. Anyways,
Do you know how much it's made up until now?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. So both John Candy, before he died, and Steve Martin have said, out of all the movies they've ever done, this is their favorite movie. they've
Oh,
done.
really?
Yep.
Well, Johnny Candy can't say it because he's dead.
He said it before
He
died.
has.
Okay.
A couple of ridiculous things. This one's my favorite. The original plot involved Del Griffith being a bungling vampire bent on trying to get Neil Page to invite him over to his family's house. Vampires can only enter a house if they've been invited. Fun fact. John Hughes was so impressed with the on-screen chemistry between John Candy and Steve Martin that he moved the vampire plot from the script in favor of a more wholesome Thanksgiving theme.
You think that's why when
Freaking kidding me?
Let's get on.
This was about to.
Yep.
This was about to be a vampire movie.
That's
you
right.
think that when like he's flashing the candy's flashing before him when they're in the car, like you see, I think you see like a devil or something.
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
a little
Maybe it
nod.
was a little nod to the fact
You
that
saw like a skeleton on both
That
sides
was jarring.
too.
That was super. I know we're ahead
This
of
is
the
a
game.
weird scene.
That was super jarring to
Look at
me.
there. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Did you have a seizure?
No, but I was like, whoa, what?
Yeah. Okay. So, let's just get into the plot because the plot's pretty simple. We'll just kind of go with it and just kind of say our favorite parts.
The plot is Steve Martin's character cannot get home for Christmas.
Thanksgiving.
Or
Literally.
Thanksgiving, yeah. And
And-
a bunch of things happen to him where
We'll run
it's
through
just
them
like
all.
really
Lots of
bad luck.
comedic things.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's just bad luck that he can't get home. So he tries to go on a plane, doesn't work. Tries
Hold
to go
on,
on a
this is not
train.
bad luck.
Doesn't
This
work.
dude just gets fucked over. And sometimes I'm like, are they trying to make Steve Martin out to be the asshole here?
Yeah.
Because, man, I would be even the way he composed himself most of the time. I was surprised.
He was a great straight man in this movie.
and it was so great to see him do that.
I know.
Because normally he's wacky.
Yeah. Isn't it weird though? So this movie starts and it takes place on Tuesday. So that means the whole movie takes place over a span of 2 days,
Oh,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird that he's trying so hard.
I honestly thought it took place on Thanksgiving, and then like I would say probably 3/4 of the movie, I realized that it wasn't on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was on. Yeah.
well, think of it
It's
this
on, like,
way:
the day before
he's
that.
trying to get home because I bet he has to go right back to work on Monday, and he just wants to hang out with his family.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
You know, because
I mean, it
normally
makes-
the wife's annoying, but we'll get into the wife. Why the wife's annoying?
this movie had a lot of parallels to me, and I think I think they did this on purpose. Remember that Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
Zach
so
Galifianakis
that was
movie?
based on this.
See,
That's-
yeah.
We talked about that too.
I
Due
mentioned
date.
it to Chris. I was like, yeah, that movie. What was it called?
Due date.
Due Date. I like this movie better than Due Date.
Oh yeah, the Due Date was a good movie. I liked it.
No,
This is the
I
classic,
did
though.
too.
Yeah.
But this one, it had a better story, and,
Oh, it's much,
and
much
the
better.
humor was a lot better, in my opinion.
Yeah, Due
But-
date obviously took a lot from this movie as a.
Yes.
And they made their own. Obviously,
Yeah.
it was not a.
Zach
Zach
what is it?
Galifianakis.
Zach Galifianakis. I like Candy better than him.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
there's
He's more realistic, I think.
They're
Yeah.
but they're also very different characters as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
Galifianakis is definitely more, I would say,
disgusting.
disgusting and more aware of his nastiness and just doesn't care. Candy's character in this is more, especially near the end when you figure it out. It's more sad.
Well, and there's no like obvious fat jokes because it's John Candy. Like it's just a guy. a guy who's annoying, and you know what I mean. He plays that so well, and like he has friends in this movie. He has people that like buy the shower curtain rings. Like he's friendly,
probably
but
because
it's small doses.
Small,
and,
yeah, I was
and
about to
it's
say
so
that.
realistic to
Yeah.
actual people. So John Hughes made this movie. If y'all know who John Hughes is, right? He does all of the '80s.
classic '80s
Ferris
director,
Bueller,
writer.
16 Candles, Weird Science. He did all those movies.
Great movies.
So his idea for this movie came from a time when he was actually stuck on a flight from New York to Chicago that was diverted to Kansas. The only reason I bring that up is because the first line of this, fun fact, is John Hughes, in an interview on the Those Aren't Pillows DVD, on the special edition, Those Aren't Pillows, which comes into play later. Anyways, okay. So,
That's funny.
first scene is Steve Martin's in a...
That scene's hilarious.
Oh, it's so good. Steve Martin's in a conference room, and a judge or a guy's looking over some ads that
It's
he's
his boss.
It's his boss, and it's like dead silence the whole time.
I gotta go.
Yeah, and the boss is just like staring, and he turns it back down, looks it back up, and then
Yeah, it's just like he's staring and he's trying to figure out what's gonna be on the news, like the magazine, the front of a magazine.
and
like,
you
which
don't even
picture.
know if like your audio is working on the TV. It's so silent. You know what I mean?
I was watching on my phone.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I turned up my phone and it didn't work, so I refreshed the page.
Thinking that the audio was off.
There was no audio.
Yeah. And then he's running towards a cab, and he races
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon, yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool.
Pretty cool, right?
Kevin Bacon at the time just did what, like Footloose?
Footloose. This is like prime of him. He
Yeah.
was like
He's a hottie.
good looking guy.
I wonder if he just like
He's still pretty. He
He's
looks
looking good.
pretty good. He looks pretty
Yeah.
good for his
he looks
age.
the exact same.
Yeah.
Honestly, he just doesn't look like he got a facelift.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm glad. Just Kevin Bacon aside, I'm glad he embraces his older roles.
Yeah, he
in the
does.
way he does, because a lot of people wouldn't do that. They like to move on.
Yeah.
You know, he definitely, whenever somebody talks about Footloose or something, like he did that with Fallon, where he did a whole opening where he
No,
was
no,
doing
that
this
was cool.
Footloose thing.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
no.
I get why actors and actresses don't like to go back to their past,
Right.
especially in a famous one, but it's fun when people go back and will tribute those, especially when they're in big, important movies like Footloose and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Kevin Bacon aside, done.
Kevin
Yeah.
Bacon's like a C-lister now.
Yeah.
if you want to really admit that.
Yeah, it's true. He's about to get a taxi, and he gets tripped over by a trunk, which comes into play later. And then he pays for it to get a taxi from a guy. And while he's paying the guy, Del Griffith, or a guy that turns out to be Del Griffith, gets in the cab and drives away. And he realizes it's Del. And
Can we talk about that name real quick? Del Griffith?
Del Griffith.
Doesn't that just sound like...
It sounds annoying.
Like
It's
an
like
annoying
guy.
name?
Yeah, it does. So then he calls his family. Do y'all know who? Did y'all recognize any of the kids who they turn out to be?
No.
Oh, some facts. Let's go. Tell us.
So the little boy who says like, "Oh, I want noogies" or whatever. I forget what he says.
No, you get Indian burns.
You get Indian burns. Yeah. He's
Like,
like,
what the fuck is that about?
But I prefer noogies. That is Jack from Boy Meets World.
Ah,
Yeah.
All right.
You haven't got there yet. But
I
you'll
kind of
see.
see that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Sorry. It's
totally know who that
Matthew
is.
Lawrence is his name. If you probably recognize him from like old Disney movies and shows and stuff. Anyways, his first film. So he's at the airport and he's sitting across from him. Did y'all notice what the book is that Del Griffith is reading?
No.
It's a filthy book, and it's called The Canadian Mounted. And it's a girl in lingerie, like kneeling over.
It's that. When I saw, because I had never noticed that before.
No, I didn't
Yeah.
notice that.
And I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Did you look it up?
It's not a real book.
It's
No,
not
it's not a real book.
No.
Okay.
But
I just never noticed that. Like, I never read the title of the
Del
book.
would be reading a trashy.
That is
Yeah.
hilarious.
He tries to buy Neil like some food because he feels bad. He realizes that he stole his.
Let me make it up to you somehow, huh, please? How about a nice hot dog and a beer?
No thanks.
Just a hot dog, then.
I'm kind of picky about what I eat.
Some coffee.
No.
Milk?
No.
Soda?
No.
Some tea?
No.
Lifesavers?
No.
Slurpee?
Sir, please.
Just let me know. I'm here. I knew you.
Which is okay. You're like, okay, good guy.
Yeah,
That's a good guy move. I would do that.
Yeah, me too. It's just
And
once you
even
realize.
Neil
it.
was like, yeah, no big deal. It's fine. I got here.
Yep.
Okay. Movie done, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They get on the plane then, and Neil realizes that his seat's been bumped to coach because he had a
Which,
first class ticket.
Once again, so this is the start of the movie where he has every right to be pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
I was about to
absolutely.
say, like, he's pissed off for a really good reason. He bought a first class ticket, and he got bumped to
And they
coach.
say it's full, and then that person comes in and says, "Where do I stay?" He's like, "Oh, here, there, anywhere." The other pilot.
That would not fly today.
So okay, so no transportation.
We would have one of those video recordings
Yeah,
of this
exactly.
guy, like,
Cell phone footage, yeah.
Yeah.
So no transportation company wanted to appear as deficient in any way.
Not like it can't, not like it matters because they're all, besides Southwest, they're all terrible.
Right, yeah, it's true. Southwest though did have that person get sucked out of the window and die.
Oh
so-
yeah, but you know what? Their attendants are nice.
Exactly. And they give free peanuts or
They do.
It's worth it.
It's worth the 0.0000 for chance of dying.
Yep. Okay.
I don't think it's worth it, guys. I don't think it's worth it.
So he gets bumped to coach, and he's sitting next to Dell, which is hilarious. And Dell takes off his shoes and socks. Okay, so
Which I've been next to someone, and
Oh, yeah.
they didn't take off their socks, but they took off their shoes.
Yeah.
And it was gross.
Yeah.
This
I
is
could
why I wear
smell it.
flip flops anyway. So it's like, okay, look, you know, these are my feet anyways. I'm
These are my feet. I'm letting it go.
letting it go. I have flip flops. I can't help it.
do y'all want to watch the deleted scene or no? It's pretty.
I
but if you don't want to,
would
it's okay.
love to.
Okay.
Would you like a bun?
Yeah, it's fine. Flying's fun.
No. Would you like the bun?
What's that?
I'm offering you a bun. Speak up. You want the bun?
No, I just got started.
He said, do you want the bun?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
There you go. How about another salad? No. Take this salad. He doesn't want any. He's not hungry. Some salad dressing.
I'd like the brownie.
The brownie? Sure.
I'd like that.
You want the brownie? He won't give you the brownie. He's got a sweet tooth.
We just watched the clip,
Yeah.
and it was pretty good.
It's very fitting with the rest of the movie. And so it's them on the plane, and they get food, and the whole thing turns out to be a disaster.
Of
ends
course.
up with hitting a brownie, and a girl flips her hair over the seat and
I
right into
really
the
want
brownie.
you to put like a clip of like
We can do
just
that.
like the very end.
Should I put a deleted scene on YouTube or something? I'll put it
Yeah.
on, that's fine.
No, it's funny.
Who cares if we get caught? We're rebels. Okay,
We'll
so
just get shut down. You guys won't listen.
Yeah,
you guys won't
exactly.
hear us after this.
the reason I wanted you to see that is kind of leads to a fun fact. But John Hughes shot over 600,000 feet of film. It's almost twice the industry average. The rumored 3-hour version of the film does exist, although it's not in order. He said it'd take months or years to edit it out, but it's in a vault in Paramount, and he says it's probably all disintegrated by now, which is kind of sad.
Oh.
But man, I would love to see a 3-hour version of this.
Just some of the probably ad libbing and outtakes that Candy and Martin did.
Yeah,
Like just their chemistry together.
because even the scene that we just watched, it's a very funny scene. It could
No, it
easily
really
fit
is.
in it,
It
you know.
could've- So you've never? It's
I've
never
seen it.
been on like a TV or like a TV version.
No, it's always on the TV version.
Oh, it's always on the TV.
Yeah, they
version.
delete
Okay.
other little things, but they put that scene in, and I don't know why. But like, it's
All
on
the
the
time.
But if you like, I bought the movie, and it's deleted scene on there. There's only one
Okay.
deleted scene, and it's that.
Okay,
But anyways, so then
that's a funny scene.
and then
Yeah,
they're all yeah.
It fits the characters
Yeah, no,
so
it
well.
does. And then Dell says something about he bets that they're not going to land on Chicago, and they don't. They land in Wichita, Kansas, which is pretty funny. And then Ben Stein's in it.
Hello.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And
Bueller.
and Dell's smart enough to get a hotel,
Yeah.
and it's a shady hotel. But they take Doobie's Taxiola to the hotel.
Very rocking cab.
Very rocking cat has nude pictures on the ceiling of the car.
As nude?
Yeah, you can see it.
No.
Yeah, it's a little bunch of nude girls on
It's
the.
hard to see the actual, but it's hard to see the
no,
actual.
If you watch it on your phone, you probably didn't see it.
So they get the motel room together.
Yeah, and they have one left, and it's one bed. And it's a double bed. It looks like it's a very small bed.
See, okay, I really like this scene because it shows that the characters, they aren't really that different.
No, they're both
They-
freaked out by the bed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like when it came to like if it was Zach Galifianakis, like
Yeah.
if it was like a character like that, he would have just been like, okay, let's
Yeah,
just go sleep in
exactly.
the bed.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
it showed like that these characters, they're not honestly that much different. They're just one's kind of annoying and one's kind of a jerk.
Exactly. Yep. I completely agree with you. I think it's very well done. And then Dell asked, "Do you want to take a shower?"
And he's like, no, not together.
Yeah. He's like, "What kind of guy do you think I am?"
Dell takes the shower first,
He
right?
takes a shower first.
And so then
Oh, okay.
Neil,
So then Neil takes a shower, and he first off the water the heater turns off. It's really cold. And then he gets out, and man, every time I cringe. When he steps out and there's a soaked towel on the floor, and he steps on it, he goes, and it's all that water just spills out. Ugh, gives me chills. And all he has left is a little.
Really? That grosses you out?
Yeah, it's a little 8x8 washcloth.
He just leaves everything just like thrown everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, God.
Oh god, it's good. I don't know if y'all noticed, but on the bed, above the bed, we can put a picture of this up also. Above the headboard is 2 handprints. Did y'all notice?
No, I didn't notice
yeah.
that.
We'll put a picture up, but man, it was hilarious.
That's funny.
It's just a really trashy hotel room.
Is they get into bed and he's like, they said Del spilled beer.
They'll spill beer and on Steve Martin's
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, okay, so what happened was Dell put in like I didn't even know these
The
existed.
massage
vibrating, vibrating beds.
I didn't even know they existed.
Yeah.
He put like a quarter into like a machine.
Yeah.
And it vibrated the bed.
Yeah.
And I guess he was drinking a beer and he spilled it on Steve Martin's side.
Yep. And he didn't offer to sleep on that side. He still had. He did later.
Yeah.
But first he had Neil sleep on the. It's hilarious.
So then he gets robbed in the middle of the night.
They get robbed in the middle of the night.
They wake
Because
up.
it's a sketchy motel.
Yeah, exactly.
And they wake up.
Well, that night though, he's like clearing his throat, and they have
Oh,
a huge,
yeah.
they have a huge fight, and it's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, and he talks about,
I could tolerate any insurance seminar. For days, I could sit there and listen to them go on and on with a big smile on my face. They'd say, how can you stand it? And I'd say, because I've been with Del Griffith. I can take anything. You know what they'd say? They'd say, I know what you mean. The shower curtain ring guy. Whoa. It's like going on a date with a chatty Cathy doll. I expect you to have a little string on your chest, you know, that I pull out and have to snap back. Except I wouldn't pull it out and snap it back. You would. Ah, 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 ah. And by the way, you know, when you're telling these little stories, here's a good idea. Have a point. It makes it so much more interesting for the listener.
That was a pretty brutal scene.
It was.
Honestly.
It's pretty emotional.
Hi there, Another Man's Nostalgia podcast listener. I want to take just a second to tell you about something you didn't know you were missing. I'm John, and along with Mo,
Hey, everybody.
and George,
Hey, how's it going, guys?
we are Gen X Grown Up. Gen X Grown Up is a website, YouTube channel, and audio podcast by and for Generation Xers, kids of the late 70s and early 80s who may have grown older but have refused to grow up. Every week on our podcast, we cover media, games, tech, toys, comics, games, and pop culture of yesterday and today through the eyes of guys who grew up loving that stuff. And every other week, we do a backtrack where we pick a single nostalgic topic from our youth and dig in deep. You can find us anywhere you listen to your podcasts, or find us right on our website at genxgrownup.com. If you're a Generation Xer or know someone who is, I hope you'll check out Gen X Grown Up.
Your dinner cannot just be french fries. Basically, life sucks as a grown up.
They wake up and they're cuddling.
Yeah, so they
they
finally like kind of make it up and
kind of. They kind of just lay there.
why is
Yeah.
your hand on my ear or something like
Yeah,
that?
like
And it was like,
ear.
hey, okay, he goes,
Del. Why did you kiss my ear? Why are you holding my hand? Where's your other hand? Between 2 pillows. Those aren't pillows.
And he wakes up and he goes to the bathroom and he's like washing his face and he's like, oh, what's that smell? He looks down and Del left his socks in the sink. And he's like all pissed off and he grabs a towel to dry it and it's not a towel. It's Del's.
Oh, you forgot when right after they uncuddled, he was like, so how about that Bears
How about the
game?"
Bears game? Yeah.
yeah, they're all
he's
trying to talk
all
man-like.
But I love it when he's like drying his face and then you hear Del say, hey, Neil, take my socks out of the sink if you're going to brush your teeth.
Like, what the fuck is his socks doing in there?
Yeah. And then you meet maybe my favorite scene. They're waiting outside to go to
You meet your favorite
you
scene.
meet my favorite scene.
I didn't know you could meet a scene.
Sorry. They decide to go on a train the rest of the way.
Owen, right?
Yeah. And they meet Owen, who's played by Dylan Baker. Do y'all know who Dylan Baker is?
No.
He's in like Apollo 13. He is Dr. Connors in the original Spider-Man series.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's his first movie ever. with his hand, you know what I mean. Anyways, and so Owen is my favorite character because he's just so ridiculous. His wife, he makes his wife get out to pick up the luggage, and
Oh, no, we've got it.
It's very heavy. She don't mind. She's short and skinny, but she's strong. Her first baby come out sideways. She didn't scream or nothing.
Isn't that something? You're a real trooper.
and they introduce themselves, and he spits on his hand before he shakes Neil's hand.
God, it's so disgusting.
Anyways,
It's so great.
I love Owen. He's my favorite character.
Okay, hey, before we get into anything else,
25, 30.
I kind of want to talk about the
35.
wife.
Huh?
Like, I kind of want to talk about the wife and
she's
how
annoying.
she's reacting when it comes to
She's the
like
worst.
everything that's going on in Steve Martin's like life right now.
She's the worst.
So Steve Martin keeps telling her like all these things. Well, like all this, like my plane got canceled.
Yeah.
Like I'm taking a train now. My train like it just stopped working.
Uh-huh.
All this stuff, and she's pissed.
she's like,
She's like pissed at him.
yeah. First, she's like, hey, he like calls her, like, hey, we landed in Wichita, not Chicago, and she goes, I don't understand what the storm in Chicago has to do with Wichita. What's going on? Like he's cheating on her.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about?
But anyway, it kind of pissed me off
Yeah.
because I'm like, she's not understanding.
No, it's not
About
his
his
fault.
situation.
Yeah.
Damn it, woman.
Even like when they finally show up at the end, she's like crying. It's like, all right, let's just chill out a little bit here. So they get on. So then they get on a train, and the train breaks down.
Train breaks down, yeah.
So they have to go on a bus.
Of course it breaks down.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay, when is this going to turn bad?
Yep.
Yep.
And then they have to get on a bus, and the bus is hilarious because you have the kid running down the aisle, like hitting everybody in the head.
It
And they-
reminds me of the League of Their Own kid.
Yeah,
that's
it
like
is.
on the
It's
bus.
a lot like
that's,
that.
That's what it
Yeah.
reminded me of.
And then you have the
Why
couple
don't you take
making
a
out.
picture of it?
Yeah, you have the couple making out.
And then you had the couple that was like all over each
And
other.
Del nudges Neil look at it, and he does, and then Neil gets caught.
He's like, oh, you got caught.
yeah.
So Neil, he goes, "Hey, look over there," and then
Yeah.
It's like, there's a
Steve
movie
Martin's
over
character-
there.
Yeah, Steve Martin's character, he just like looks at her.
Yeah, he's like, he's like, oh, yeah.
looks
That's
at
good.
them making out, and then she like, it was weird. She leans over while the guy's like kissing her chest,
Yeah.
and she was like just chewing on gum. It looked like.
While they're all singing on the bus,
Oh, yeah, he starts like a song.
he goes, there's like Flintstones, all these funny songs, and then he goes, 3 coins and a fountain. Everybody turns around, looks at him because nobody knows what
It's then then they start the
then it's in the
Flintstones.
Flintstones. Yeah, right.
Yeah, like, do you guys ever start songs on a bus?
Well, no, but everybody was doing it, and it was
Yeah.
kinda
And Dell probably started it.
and it was funny because it's like Neil was like, oh, "I'll do it. Let's have some fun." Because Neil hasn't had any fun. He tries and then nobody gets it.
It's okay. So honestly, it's kind of cool how the movie went because at this point I realize that Steve Martin's character is the outsider.
Yeah,
Like you always kind of like point yourself like, hey, yeah, like I would be upset if I was around a character like
Yeah.
Neil's character.
yeah,
But then you realize that every point that they're in the movie, Neil's character is the outsider.
Yeah.
Oh no, Neil's is Candy's character, right?
no, Neil,
No.
Neil's-
Yeah, Neil's character is the outsider, and Candy's character is like the person that everyone enjoys being around.
It's like
he enjoys being around the motel.
Yeah.
The bus people.
uh-huh.
Like the people that are on the plane, as we saw in the deleted scene,
Uh-huh.
like those are his kind of people that he needs to be around, and everyone doesn't think he's annoying, other than Neil's character.
It's almost like if Neil was like more of a positive person, he would have had a better time with it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But he was so negative that it made him stick out.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think his negativity is
Justified?
warranted a
Yeah,
little bit.
sure.
Especially after things that happen later.
Yeah. Let's go and get to it. So they get to the airport, and he's gonna rent a car. And he
this
goes.
is when I would have been pissed. Like this is when I really relate to it, and I was like, I probably wouldn't have reacted as extreme.
Yeah.
but
This was
I would have reacted.
turning moment. Yeah. So he the bus takes him, and his car is not being in spot V5, and it was not in V5. The V5 was empty, so he has to walk back. He walks back on the runway,
3 miles. He has to walk back 3 miles.
and he goes up to the lady, and
She's like doing her Thanksgiving.
The the lady's very cheerful.
perfect person to play this kind of
Yeah.
character.
No, the lady's very cheerful.
Yeah.
She's talking to her family about Thanksgiving stuff.
Yeah.
She's very happy. She's very corny.
Yeah.
and then Steve Martin goes off on this girl like I've never heard Steve Martin go off on anyone, and he's like,
How may I help you?
You can start by wiping that fucking dumbass smile off your rosy fucking cheeks. Then you can give me a fucking automobile, a fucking Datsun, a fucking Toyota, a fucking Mustang, a fucking Buick, 4 fucking wheels and a seat.
I really don't care for the way you're speaking to me.
And I really don't care for the way your company left me in the middle of fucking nowhere with fucking keys to a fucking car that isn't fucking there. And I really didn't care to fucking walk down a fucking highway and across a fucking runway to get back here to have you smile at my fucking face. I want a fucking car right fucking now.
Yeah, I see your rental agreement.
I threw it away.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy, what?
You're fussed.
it was crazy.
It was a lot, so
It was
15
very.
times,
I was not
I think.
expecting it. If I was.
So here's the fun facts about it. It's great. So the scene is exactly 1 minute long, and he says
The whole entire scene, or him just
the
cussing?
the whole scene.
Okay.
The whole
He said-
movie.
He says it 18 times in that 1 minute.
I was close.
That's the only reason that Steve Martin joins, because he read that and he was like, I gotta do this, right?
He just wanted to say it.
If this scene
That's
was
awesome.
if this scene was not in the movie, it would have been PG. This scene made
This
it R.
made it R.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
There's no other cussing in it, really, other than that.
No, they say ass a couple times.
Yeah,
that's
but
not really
back
a cuss word
then
now.
you could say like shit and ass and
PG was a lot worse.
they wouldn't.
I think I said last time, Airplane was rated PG and there's a naked woman in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
So this beat out the naked woman.
yeah, I think he did that
18 times.
18 times in 60 seconds. I'll tell you, it surprised me. It surprised me too watching the actual version, because I'll tell you, the TBS version did a masterful job of covering it up where you had no idea he was saying it. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. It was
Have you
impressive.
watched the TBS version like lately?
No, I haven't. Maybe they haven't.
Because maybe it was just like when you were little, like you just thought that this was like a
Yeah.
wholesome movie.
Well,
and
it's
you
funny
just-
'cause-
they just kind of edit, because some movies they edit out the cuss words and then it's
They
just
put
like
like
the actors.
fruitin'.
Yeah, like the actors are like dubbing over
Yeah.
that specific word.
Well, it's funny. So then he goes out and he's gonna get a taxi from St. Louis to Chicago because everything else is going wrong. And he says to the guy, because he's pissed off, and the guy says, "Why don't you go for an airline?" Which would piss me off too.
Yeah, what was that guy's job? It was to grab taxis,
He had to
right?
grab taxis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was like talking to this guy that grabs taxis, and he just like tells him off.
Well, he goes.
Steve
The guy
Martin's
goes,
character
"Why
tells
don't you
him
try the airline? Get a free meal." He's like, "If I wanted a joke, I would follow you to the bathroom and watch you take a leak."
That's a pretty funny.
And he gets punched in the fucking
That's
punched.
an asshole
That's a
line
terrible thing to
to
say.
say.
And
And
then
the guy punches Steve Martin's character
Into the road.
Into the road.
Yep.
And
he
guess who
falls
shows
in,
up?
Yeah, he falls in front of the car.
Yep.
That Candy's character's
Yep.
in, and like slams on the brake and everything like that. And this is my favorite line, what he says.
Well, first he says, "Will you help pick up my friend?" And the guy picks him up
Grab him by the nuts.
by the balls, and
And John Candy's character,
they're in the car later.
they're in the car.
driving.
He goes, "I've never seen a guy get picked up by his testicles before."
And Steve Martin's like, yeah.
Yeah, he's a high pitched
And
voice.
Steve Martin's like, the rest of that scene has a high
It's
pitched
like
voice.
helium. It's so good.
Oh my god,
Um,
I laugh so hard.
It's really
listening
good.
to
And then you
that
have
scene.
then you have Dell trying to fix his seat.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna break it.
So the
No,
car,
no.
just so you know, first they made it to resemble the National Lampoon Vacation car, which it kind of does. Like
That's
the
okay.
panel, like, yeah.
So yeah. So apparently Candy's character rented a car,
yep.
and
You don't know how yet.
we don't know how he rented a car yet, because they don't really have any money. They
Right.
haven't really mentioned this, but they don't
They've
really have
lost
any
a lot of
money. They've
money.
lost a lot of money because the guy stole it
Yeah.
in the motel.
Yeah.
So they're driving down the road, and I guess they just talking about like how miserable this trip is.
Yeah.
And Candy's character
He's adjusting
broke
the car seat.
Yeah, broke the car seat. So when
You're
they
gonna break
switched,
it. No, I'm not. They're made to do this.
so when they switched
Yeah,
drivers,
it's completely broken.
when they switched drivers, Steve Martin's character is trying to adjust the seat, and it's broken and like pushes him like everywhere.
And it pushes him up
the
against
window, like
the windshield. He's like, "Why would you do this?" God, I love it. And
so. Then you get to his character kind of falls asleep, right?
He's asleep.
He's asleep, and Dell's driving.
Yeah.
He's singing Ray
Dell-
Charles, and he starts getting warm because he throws the cigarette out, but he throws it in the back seat, and he doesn't throw it out the window. So it starts getting hot, and
Which you're like, really?
yeah, I mean, maybe the seats are flammable. I don't know.
But you see him go down the wrong way in the highway.
That's because his jacket got stuck on the seat.
And that's the scene I think he made. That's like the stupidest he is. Wake him up. If you have both your hands caught and you're trying to steer with your legs, wake up the guy next to you. That's the only scene I think is like a pretty big, like, character flaw.
Yeah.
Because they nailed the characters except for that scene, I think. But anyway, so he spins out. He goes the wrong way.
He starts to go down the wrong way in the highway,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
Neil wakes
It's a
up.
crazy scene. Neil wakes up.
Uh-huh.
You see this couple on the other side of the highway trying to tell them
Yeah.
that they're going down the
No,
wrong way.
He's drunk.
And-
Drunk assholes.
And Candy's character is like, "What are they saying over there? They're trying to race me."
Yeah.
And Steve Martin's character rolls down the window and he's like, "What do you guys want?" And the couple's like, "You're going the wrong way down the highway."
no, we're
You're going the
not,
wrong-"
you assholes.
First he says,
And he's like,
"You're going down the wrong way. You're going the wrong way."
You're going the wrong way. And he's like, they're saying they're going the wrong way. And he goes, "How do you know? How do they know where we're going?"
They are assholes.
And Steve Martin's like, "Okay, thank you." Like, he's like, "Yeah, you're right. How do they know where we're going?" He's like, "Okay." And then,
So then finally Steve Martin's character
he realizes
realizes that they're going the wrong way down the highway.
too late because there's two semi trucks
Yeah,
coming
there's
at
two
him.
semi trucks going
Yep.
towards them.
Yep.
And that scene is weird.
Yeah, it is.
This scene is really weird. It keeps like flashing
Them and skeletons.
and them as skeletons.
Yeah,
yeah,
and
he's the devil. It's weird.
Yeah. And then it flashes to Candy's character and he's wearing a devil costume.
Yeah.
How long do you think that like scene took?
I don't know. It's odd.
It's
probably
weird.
seizures and stuff. And then
But
car starts on fire.
yeah, so they get through the semi trucks
Yeah.
and the car starts on fire.
And then they get and then you find out that the way that he paid for the car was Neil's credit card ended up in his wallet, and he paid for it with Neil's credit card. Neil gets mad, and then he says, "Give me back my credit card." He says, "I put it back in your wallet, which is in the car," and so the car is on
Because the
fire.
car's on fire. So this is when I would have been pissed.
Yep. And he punches him.
I would have too.
Yep.
Who would have done anything different? Justin, would you have done something different than punching the guy?
Well, especially he's like, "Are you mad at me?" Right before he
I'd
punches
be like, yes!
I would have. I don't know if I would have punched him, but I definitely would not talk to that person anymore.
And then,
Justin, he said that he like crossed his arms
Yep,
like,
he's very-
I'm just too good for this
yeah, it's
person
very
anymore.
matter of fact. And then and then they go to a hotel and they can't pay for
They
it.
find, oh no, okay.
The car still drives.
The car still drives. Even after it being on fire. The car doesn't have an exterior anymore. Like,
Just a
the
frame.
top of it and the sides are gone.
It's the metal frame that they used to make cars out of. It's just the metal frame. And
So they go to this motel.
yeah, they don't have any money, but Neil gives him his watch, but Dell
And
doesn't have
17 bucks,
and 17
the guy
bucks.
that
Shady
does
guy.
the cars.
Shady guy. The hotel guy looks like a creeper. But Dell doesn't have any money, and Neil decides maybe this guy. They kind of become friends here. This is where they kind of become
Yeah.
friends, and he lets them in the hotel. They get drunk, and talk about how great their wives are.
Best way to get to know somebody is to get drunk. with
Absolutely.
So they're trying to get their car because I guess it snowed the day before.
Yeah.
They're trying to get their car out of the parking lot. They
You
say
meet their frame.
we need to rock it back and forth. So he's like, okay, put it in reverse, and he puts it in reverse. He slams into the
lobby.
room that
The
they were
room.
just
Yeah,
in.
that's right. So then they just leave,
They just leave.
and they're
It's
on
like
the,
they have cameras.
yeah, they're on the highway, and they get pulled over. The guy you know who played him? The guy who
cop?
played- yeah,
I don't know.
Michael McKean.
I don't know who that is.
Guy from he played Perry White in Smallville. He's also in Better.
Oh,
He's
okay.
also in Better Call Saul. He's the brother. If y'all are watching that, but he's good.
No.
He's a really famous actor.
I never watched any of those two things, so he must not be that famous.
He's very famous. Anyways, so they take away his car, and then Dell finds a dairy truck that will drive him the rest of the way. And they get to a Subway,
Yep.
and they part ways here. And while Neil's in the car, he starts to think back at everything. He's laughing at things. He's feeling bad about things when they're fighting and stuff. And then he starts to put together that something's different about, or something's off about Dell. So he turns back around.
It's just certain lines that
Yeah.
Dell would say.
Said he hasn't been home in years.
He hasn't been home in years. He loves his wife.
Yeah, the way he said
His wife loves him.
Yeah, he goes back to find them still at the lobby of the Subway or whatever, and he makes him tell him that his wife died 7 years ago. I think
8, I think.
8 years ago.
8.
And-
Ding!
Sorry.
Ding!
Whatever. And then they decide to take him home for Thanksgiving, and
Everybody's happy.
they get back to home. Neil
The
and
wife.
Neil and the wife make out with each other in front of Dell, rubbing it a little bit.
That was such a weird scene.
It was weird. And then like Dell's just watching, and it's weird.
It's a good movie.
Yep. But that's not the end of the movie. Did you not watch the after credits scene?
No.
How did you not know there's an after credits scene?
I don't know, Chris.
There's an after credits scene. It is the boss still looking at the magazine cover in silence. It's like trying to figure out if he
And
wants
they
to use it or
set
not.
up planes, trains, and automobiles.
all of John Hughes' movie had them. Like Ferris Bueller had the famous one with him in the bathroom. They all had like the famous.
What are you still doing here?
Isn't that funny though that it's like
Go home.
It's just him staring at the paper still.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Final thoughts.
John?
Again, I've never seen this movie before. I've never seen Steve Martin in this.
You
kind of
never
role.
watched
I've
it?
seen John Candy in this role before.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was great.
Awesome.
I thought it was a really cool movie. I liked it a lot better than movies that they have now.
Uh-huh.
I would probably. I can understand that it's a classic.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I like it a lot.
Okay.
I'm
cool.
probably gonna watch this again tomorrow.
Make it your
No,
tradition.
I'm joking.
Make it your Thanksgiving tradition. Did Peyton watch it with you?
Yeah, I could just come to your house and watch it.
You
with your
absolutely
family.
can. You absolutely can. Did Peyton watch it with you?
No.
Oh, okay, she should
No.
watch it. Let me know what she thinks.
Okay.
Don't have to listen to this podcast if you don't know how it ends. All right.
But no. I'm definitely giving you a point.
Yeah.
It was a great movie. I was very surprised. It's been because I know there's been some movies that I haven't watched in doing this podcast. It's been my favorite that I have not watched.
That's exciting.
So
You, John? Justin? Sorry.
Huh? Who am I?
Sorry, Justin. Go ahead.
Yeah, I like this movie. I remembered it. It was good.
Uh-huh.
Classic movie. Steve Martin's one of my favorites
Mm-hmm.
ever. John Candy's great, as usual. There wasn't a part where I was bored.
Cool.
That's usually a good sign of a good movie.
It's
for
a
me.
very short movie. It's only an hour and
It's
a
pretty
half.
quick. Yeah, you got a point, of course.
Okay. So honestly,
Of course.
I didn't know if y'all had seen this before, and I didn't know if I was just so wrapped up in it that it was actually good. So
This
it's
is pretty
encouraging.
famous.
It's encouraging. Well, no, I know that it's a famous movie, but it's encouraging to me that y'all have watched. Like John, you watched it now, never had seen it before, and liked it because, I mean, it's an old movie. It's almost 30 years old. It is 30 years old. And to think like
But John Hughes movies, the good John Hughes movies
timeless.
Are timeless.
Yeah.
Because it's just good comedy.
But it's just encouraging to me that like it's a good movie because I just never know.
you just
'Cause
never-
I can
you
still-
thought it was just because I've watched it ever since I was little.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
can still think of situations where this would happen. I can still think of Ferris Bueller and
When the-
Breakfast
yeah.
Club.
It's exaggerated things that actually happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's still some type of connection to it.
Yeah.
Some type of anchor in my reality now.
Kind of like Hey Arnold the
Is
movie
it-
when they lift the curse on the sleeping.
Fuck that movie! I only read the description. Why are you triggering me? That's such bullshit.
Okay, so sorry, I have one more fun fact. I want to explain why it was so expensive to make. So no actual like, transportation company wanted to actually like be a part of this movie because they all, are terrible in this.
Yeah.
So they had to rent 20 miles of train track and refurbish old railroad cars, construct a set that looked like an air terminal, design a rental car company logo and uniforms, and rent 250 cars for the infamous rent-a-car. So like
Wow.
that's where all the money came from. It's just like them like remaking these fake.
They had to rent 250.
Yep, cars just to make
That can't be that bad for a day, though.
No, but I mean, just the whole like renting 20 miles of train track. That's
The train track is expensive,
and
probably.
refurbishing old railroad cars.
That's ridiculous.
I would have thought the cars would have been.
Yeah.
How much? That's like $80 a car.
It is.
Yeah, but in the sense of a movie, it's not that much.
yeah. Anyway,
How much was this movie?
Like the
45
sets,
million?
making
30.
sets is
They made
probably
49
30?
million, yeah.
just the labor of making of the sets is
Huge.
probably more than like $1 million per set they make. So.
You said
Yeah.
20 miles of train
Railroad.
track?
Yep. All right, y'all
Yeah, that
wanna
probably would've been expensive.
you wanna play a game real quick?
all right,
Yes!
play a game.
Biggies?
I'm excited about the game.
Okay,
What
so
game
Zip
playing?
here.
as y'all know, my game is that I like to play obscure TV show themes to see if y'all can guess.
Obscure lines.
Kind of obscure lines.
Oh,
Justin's
yeah.
or Chris's obscure movie themes. And this one is another one, and I'm going to play it for you. Then I'll give you 3 guesses on what it is. Okay? So
No one could ever know me. No one could ever see me. Since you're the only one who knows what it's like to be me.
okay, you know what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, one more time.
No one could ever know me. No one could ever see me. Since you're the only one who knows what it's like to be me.
Okay, I got it. This is way too easy.
Okay, what was it?
Yeah.
Friends.
It was Friends.
It's Friends.
You're right. Okay. All right.
Dude, it's...
You know,
How is that obscure?
That's not part of the actual song.
But almost everybody's heard the full version before.
Okay, well, whatever.
We've
You know
all.
what?
If you're a friend,
You're
if you-
asking for it. I'll make it harder next time.
yes, you make it
This
harder.
is a hard one.
No one could ever know me. No one could ever see me. Since you're the only one who knows what it's like to be me. Someone to face the day with, make it through all of the rest with. Someone I always laugh with, even when I was the best we did. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, you weep the month, even though you win. I'll be there for you. When the rain starts to pour.
All right.
Okay, hey, do you want to know how I knew this?
How?
So, I had the Friends DVDs, like, I had the first 3 seasons when I was growing up.
Uh-huh.
And, they had in every single one of these DVDs, they had the theme, or the music video to the theme song.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
like, the Friends people are, like, dancing in
Oh,
the
the
background and
full
stuff like
dancing,
that.
yeah.
With the full dancing. And, I don't know how many times I've watched it, but it got to the point where my mom's like, you need to shut that off right now.
Okay, so next week, I'll explain, I guess. So next week we are all doing our show together.
Oh yeah, so this is the first time we've ever done this before.
There's
But-
no way any of us could take this show because
No.
we love it so much. all right, what do you? I don't know what you're
So
doing.
the difference between I guess me and the other two is I watched this when I was little.
yeah, I didn't. Watch
I watched
it.
this when it first came out.
Really, me and
So me
Justin
and my
did.
brother did
Yeah,
on Nickelodeon,
let's explain what it is.
It was. I liked it before.
so
it was
what we're
cool.
watching is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
and it's
Season 1.
I would say it's probably when it comes to cartoons, it's probably all of our favorites.
Yep, I agree.
Except for me, Dragon Ball Z, no, but not.
So,
No,
yeah,
I'm
we're-
joking. No,
we're all kinda-
Avatar is definitely my favorite.
We're all kind of taking it this one because it's so good, and we're going to talk about it next week, and we're all really excited about it. Have y'all watched it recently?
I have
I haven't watched it since college when I first
Uh,
watched it.
Peyton like just rewatched the whole entire series.
Oh, yeah?
I haven't watched it all the way through, but I've watched.
Secret Tunnel.
I would say about 70%
season
of
two.
it.
Season 2, yeah. Okay, well, yeah.
Secret Tunnel.
Y'all excited about it? I'm really excited. I didn't
I'm
watch. You
excited.
watched it when it came out. I didn't watch it till college. When did you watch it, Justin?
After you told me to watch it.
Okay, so
I watched Legend of Korra too.
Me too. I watched all that.
Yeah.
We can talk about that too.
I watched that live too.
Also, really good animation. I watched it live too. It's a really good animation.
They are redoing Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, for Netflix.
Yeah. I'm super excited about it because the writers
It's the same guy.
for the Avatar the animation
Mm-hmm.
is they're helping the Netflix series around. They're not writing it, but they're helping them, right?
Yeah, I don't know why they're making a live action movie. They already have a perfectly good live action movie.
No, there was never one made.
Okay.
I'm sure our fans and our listeners really like this show also because it's just so good. So we're gonna.
No, it really is. If you haven't listened to this, I would watch the first. We're gonna do the first book.
Yeah,
by the way.
the first,
Which is
So
the first season.
yeah,
Which is
20
the first
episodes.
season. Yeah.
Yeah, all about the
And-
water tribe.
Of bliss.
It's in my opinion, it's the best show that Nickelodeon has put out ever.
Well, I wonder if we're gonna like it next week.
I would say SpongeBob.
Pretty close.
SpongeBob is probably the most famous. It's probably the most when it comes to like money.
Yeah,
Is
probably brought in the
mayonnaise an
most money.
instrument?
I would say Hey Arnold the Jungle movie.
Goodbye, everybody.
All right,
Peace.
the end. All right.
All right, so you guys can find us at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Another Man's Pod. I put most of my things on Instagram, so if you want to go check that out and follow us, that would be great. And it would be great if you follow us on any of our social medias. All right, you guys can also find us on anywhere that you listen to a podcast. You can find any of our previous podcasts that we do. I would recommend like a bunch of them, like Aladdin, that's mine. Batman animation, that's mine too.
Okay.
Even Stevens, it's
Okay.
mine.
All right. The Grinch last week was pretty good. If you haven't, let's check
That was not mine. Don't listen to it.
Okay. All right.
No, it was
Spoiler:
no, it
the
really
actual
was good.
Grinch movie, the new Grinch movie, was terrible.
Yeah. Apparently, it was pointless. Who's surprised? Okay. All right.
I know. No, we do have some really cool podcasts. If you guys want to go back and listen to them, you can also email us at anothermanspod@gmail.com.
Yep.
It was like what 3 weeks ago. We played
Pokemon Yellow. Yeah.
Yeah, we played Pokemon Yellow. It's a
Us
pretty,
and
it's a pretty
Dirtful.
fun game.
Turtle.
Dirtful.
That was the name of our hero, Turtle. Okay, and if you want to email us, you can at anothermanspod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
You can also support us on Patreon at patreon.com/anothermanspod. That's in the link below. Same with our email and all of our social medias.
Yeah, we're also doing it just like you heard at the very beginning of this podcast. We're doing Gen X.
Promo for Gen X grown-ups. Check them
Yep.
out. They're pretty good. And they're also helping us out, too. So,
Yeah.
good support for us. And thank you all for listening to everything.
Yeah, I was just gonna say thank you guys so much for listening. Like we really enjoy us growing. We're getting a lot bigger, and we just really appreciate you guys.
Yep, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next week with Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Peace.